minutes. Okay, so what do you call 7:35? And I guess we can begin. And there are more people who have registered who are supposed to join. They haven't joined yet. Probably they'll be referring to the recording, or else they might get late. Let's jump to the session. Okay, so without what you call wasting time, I'll just quickly give you all a brief idea on what is this session about, what are you going to learn, what are the advantage, disadvantage, and what are the prerequisites as well. There are some prerequisites as well. Okay, so first thing said, this is not a diploma thing. This is not a what do you call a degree or program, whatever. This is something called a certificate program. Okay, so which means by completing this, obviously you will be getting the knowledge, the skills, right? That's the main part of this session. But apart from the knowledge and skills, you will be getting a certificate on completion, right? So where will this certificate be helpful for you is, let's say you all know what is a resume, right? Or let's say a CV, right? So if you're in your CV, you can include this certificate. So in your certificate, there will be actually a QR as well, where the person who is looking at your certificate can scan and see the work you have done. So it's not just so basically, even though you paid for the session and let's say you did not submit the projects, so there every day you will be getting certain projects as well. Let's say you did not submit the project, then what do you call there is no worth for this certificate. So just keeping that informed to you all. Coming to the point, what you all will be learning in this session is we'll be learning how to create a basic website. Okay, a basic website meaning not just a normal website which you all had learned in O level, or it is not a normal kind of website that you see just in the basic YouTube tutorials. So we'll be making a website. Actually speaking, it's not basic; it's an advanced kind of website only. So what kind of website we are going to do is we are going to create actually the base version of, imagine like Facebook, Instagram's base version. Like imagine like a forum or else a social media, like where let's say you can post posters, you can post like, let's imagine like a Twitter, where you can post a post, or you can post just a text, and then you can go and let's say edit that text, you can go and delete that text, killer, something like that. They're going to create like a, let's say, not a fancy version. Okay, and one thing I will let you all know is we are not focusing here on the designing part. This is not a web designing program. This is a web development program. You'll be learning the basics of designing. That is whatever is required, whatever you need to know, you'll be learning. But the main part is teaching you something called as development, web development, right? How do we create real websites? Because normally, if you take any websites on this, what do you call any like let's say working website, any application like perspective website, they are all based on something called as CRUD applications. Do any of you all know what do you mean by CRUD application? Reply through the chat. Let's see. Is there anyone of you all who has an idea of what do you mean by a CRUD application? Anyone? Okay, this term might be sometimes new for you. Some of you all might have a slight idea. Okay, if you take any website in this, like any type of application, not only website, or application, it's always based on this type, something called as CRUD. What does CRUD stand for? C stands for create, R stands for read, U stands for update, and D stands for delete. Normally, any application, most of the applications you take, it will have these four functionalities. Now, for example, let's take example as Instagram. Now, if you take Instagram, you can go and publish post. You can go and publish reels. You can go and publish, let's say, yeah, these are or let's say a story. Okay, when you are going to publish something, you're going to basically create a new post. You're going to create a new reel. You're going to create a new story. You're going to create something. Okay, that's the C part. Then apart from creating something, you can go and update that as well. Now, for example, let's say you had posted a post on Instagram. You want to change the caption, you can go and change the caption. You want to, if what do you call in a, let's say in a story, you missed to tag someone, you want to again tag someone, you can re-tag someone. Likewise, you can go and do some changes for that. Or apart from that, you can even delete it as well. For example, let's say you had posted something in Instagram, you saw it was a mistake or you saw it's not appropriate, you can go and remove the post as well. That's called deleting, right? Apart from that, If you take your home page or if you take your profile page, you can see all the posts. You are able to see all the posts you created, right? That's something called as reading. So you'll be able to obtain something, you'll be able to view something. Any application you take in the world is based on this CRUD application. So if you know how to create a CRUD application, then you will be able to create any sort of application, because all the applications are based, the foundation of application is based on the idea of CRUD application. So we will be mainly focusing on how to create a basic CRUD application in this program. Is that part clear for you? You got the basic idea of what we are going to do here? Yes or no? Right. So I guess majority of you already knows me. I mean, is there anyone of you all who is like, let's say, not in O level, not in A level? I mean, if you're O level or A levels, probably I'll be knowing you. But apart from O level or A level, is there anyone of you all who is like after A levels? Like maybe you have skipped A levels, or basically you're not in O level or you're not in A levels as well. Okay, there are a couple of you. So currently, what are you all following? Okay, fine, perfect. Right. So let's jump into the main content now. Okay, interesting. Right. So today we'll be actually learning practicals, and I mean from no, from next week onwards, it's going to be completely practical. Okay. By studying this, can I do like a part-time job? Oh, okay. Let's say the scope of this. So I'll tell you. I'll be honest with you all. First, I'll tell you all, today's session, what we'll be doing is I'll just give you a small introduction of how, like, basically, like, how most of the website works. Like, there's something called front end, back end. So I just want to introduce you all to these two words. And then directly we'll be jumping to coding today itself. Okay. We'll be jumping on to coding today itself. And we'll be starting some basic stuffs today. From next week onwards, that's the paid session will start next week. No, from next week onwards, completely coding. There is no nothing where I'll be. There is no notes. There is no discussions or anything. I mean, basically, completely, I'll be teaching all to code. So that's going to happen from next week onwards. Today also we are learning coding, but that's going to be the latter part of the session. Okay. There is one prerequisite you all need, that is, you need either a laptop or a computer. You can't follow this course using your mobile phone. Actually, it is possible, but it is not easy. So I will, I what do you call, like, setting up things in the phone is not very easy. So because of that, I'll not be what you call doing it in the phone. We'll be doing, either you have a laptop or a computer or any other, like, a device. It's fine, but or even iPad. No, iPad, no, you can't. Only laptop or computer. Either one of these two, if you have, it will be convenient to do the codings, because there are certain softwares you need which is mostly available only for laptops or computers and not available in mobile phones, right? And after you learn this program, so I'll tell you, this program will teach you the foundation. So you don't think that, okay, just after you complete this program directly you can, what you call, start working in a company. No, they don't. In companies at all, they don't hire people just after when you learn the basic stuff. Imagine just after always your, can you, what do you, just because you have learned math, science, commerce and all, you have learned commerce basically, can you go for accounting firm or banking firm and tell, I know how to create, let's say, financial statements, or I know how to create, let's say, profit and loss statement, can you hire me, killer? They will not take you, right? So I'll just tell you all the steps of how things work, right? So this is just a foundation session. I'll be giving you the basic idea of how an application works, and we will be creating a working application as well. We'll be hosting it as well, which means we'll be publishing it to the internet. So you'll be getting a link, or you'll be getting a URL for the website you created as well. Okay. So once you learn this foundation, obviously you'll have to brush up your knowledge. How you can brush up your knowledge is basically you can do Google research. You can follow some of the, I'll tell you, I'll just suggest you certain YouTube videos at the end. Okay. So you can do all this, what do you call, you can do your further research after we complete the session. You can do your further research to adopt your knowledge, right? After that onwards, you have to start building projects. After you brush up your knowledge, you have to start building projects. Actually, while you're brushing up your knowledge itself, you have to start building projects, because you don't learn by just, what do you call, you don't learn how to become a good programmer, or you don't learn how to write very good codes by just copywriting or by just looking at someone. Okay, you have to create a program, or you have to start writing the program for you to be able, or you have to start programming a program in order to be able to build very good projects. That's the base idea of any program or any type of programming language as well. Okay, so if you start building projects, I mean, at the end, okay, after you complete this knowledge, after you start building project, you will start learning stuffs. Okay, okay, we can do things like this. We can do things like this. We can make our work easy like this. Or these parts. You will be able to get more and more knowledge. Once you are able to capture that knowledge, once you are able to create solid projects, then you can start obviously doing freelancing, or basically you can go and join us in certain companies. You can even join as the program of web development. Okay, but again, if you want to join as a web development in a company, normally they will require a bachelor's degree. I mean, you obviously should have a degree, but keep in mind, if you are going to do the degree, the certification program will be an added advantage. For example, if you know anyone in the industry, you go and ask them, will having a certificate, is a certification program advantages or disadvantage, or does it not make any difference? If you go and ask a person who is in the industry, they'll tell you, obviously, if you have a certificate program, it's going to be an advantage for you, another advantage for you, right? So not only in web development, I'm saying any certification courses. Don't know. I'm not talking about these basics ones. Huh? I'm not talking about Excel, Word, and all, because those are nowadays. It's like a basic, just like you're telling, I'm qualified to speak English. Okay, so English is like a basic knowledge, right? So nowadays, actually, Excel, Word, all are like basics. But if you take what you call the certifications in, let's say, data analyst, web development, blah blah blah, there are some other fields. If you can get those certifications, then obviously for applying job it will be helpful. So that is like the long perspective. So that is basically if you really want to do a job. But for job role, you need those degrees, all those stuffs. But if you want to do freelancing, then you can learn the core part here, and then brush up your knowledge, start building projects, and then you can start creating what you call websites for clients as well. Okay, that's the basics. And like I told a while ago, you need a laptop or a computer to do the practicals. Keep that in your mind. And yes, I guess we can start now. There are certain softwares you have to install. That all I'll be coming once I give you a slight idea of what this front end and what this back end is. Because without, if you don't have any idea about front end and back end, certain things might be confusing while I explain stuffs. Okay, what's the language? Our primary language will be PHP, but we'll be learning other languages like SQL. We'll be learning a bit of HTML. Obviously, HTML you need, but apart from that, CSS and JavaScript, very little. Mainly, our language will be PHP. Okay, so let's jump into the main, what do you call, section for today's session. So if you take a website, normally there is two sections of a web. Oh wait, let me break this into further, sir. If you take application or development or programming or application development or programming or whatever, there are three types of applications mainly. Nowadays there are more, but primarily there are three types. Okay, one thing is something called as mobile application. Second thing is something called as desktop application. And third category is something called as website. These are the three ways you can use an application. Now, for example, let's say you take your phone and you go and install WhatsApp from the Play Store or App Store, whatever. That's going to be called as a mobile application. Let's say you take your laptop or computer and go to Google and download a software. For example, Google Chrome, or let's say you go and download Microsoft Word, or any software you go and download from the internet in your computer. That's going to be a desktop application, because that application you can use in your computer. Apart from that, there are certain applications that you can use through the website, through your browser itself. Example, Google Sheet, or let's say even the Master IT website, or any what do you call the website which we are going to create, or like for example, let's say WhatsApp web or Instagram online version. Okay, all of these are basically applications that are going to run on your browser. So there are these three types of what do you call, programming, or these three types of development. These three are three different categories. For example, mobile developers means there are people who actually can create mobile applications, and in mobile developers also there are variations. You all know there is something called iOS, and there is something called as Android. Apart from there are other OS as well. For example, there is Windows mobile operating system as well. But I'm talking about the primary ones. Primarily, we have iOS and Android. So if you take developers, there are people who are called as iOS mobile developers, or there are people who are called as Android mobile developers. So they are mainly specialists in creating mobile applications, right? Then on the other hand side, if you take desktop applications, again there's two categories. One is a Mac OS, and one is a Windows. So, and there is something called as Linux as well. In desktop, these three are very common, right? So in desktop application development, again, we actually, do we need a notebook? No, there is no notes. There is no notes here. It's just basically fully practical. Only the first day I'm just giving you like basic idea. Okay. So if you take Mac, basically Apple computers or Apple laptops, they have something called Mac, the operating system they run. For if you're going to create applications for those what do you call devices, then you're going to be like a Mac OS desktop application developer, or let's say Windows application developer, Linux application developer. Gila. Normally, if you take a developer is not a person who knows everything. Keep that in your mind. Not only a developer. If you take the software engineering field as well, there are several what do you call several several job vacancies, and keep in mind that everyone does not know everything, right? Now, for example, if you take a person who is in, let's say, an iOS mobile developer, there is less chance that he can be, not everyone, but I'm saying there are possibilities that that can be a person who's very good at iOS, but he don't know anything about Android development, or he's very weak at Android development. So likewise, you to be good at something, you don't have to be best at all of this. At the end of the day, I mean, not now, let's say in the future, if you're going to go in this development field, then you can just choose what is exactly your path, right? So if you take website, the advantage of, why, I am actually a website developer. Now, even though I know to create mobile application in desktop, there's another type of application I know that is not Mac, Windows, Linux. There's a fourth type, which is not relevant for all. Okay, so I'm not into that nowadays, but even though in mobile I can create Android applications, and desktop I can create that's called console applications. That's not something which you should know at the moment. But let's keep that thing aside. So what happens there is, even though I can do those stuffs as well. I am specialized in something called as website development. So this is where I am specialized in. So the advantage of being specialized in website development is you can cater audience who are going to use your application through the phone. You can cater audience who are going to use your application through, let's say, tabs. You can cater audience who are going to use your application, let's say, through laptops or computers. Apart from that, for your application, whether the user is using Android or iOS does not matter. That's the advantage of using website. So if you have created a website, any phone, any device can access that website. That is the main reason why, out of all these, website development is one of the very, what do you call, website development is one of the famous, or let's say website is one of the comparatively better choice which you can choose. But again, choosing mobile, desktop, and website depends on your personal choice. You study all three, and then you can actually choose what is best for you, right? Website isn't specific and everyone can access. Exactly, that's the main purpose. We'll be focusing on website. Okay, so if you take a specific website, or if you take even general application as well, there are two parts of application. So let's say this is application. Mainly there are two parts. What if AI take over web development? You can create websites using AI. Now, for example, I'll answer that question very easily. Do you all know what does OCR mean? Let's see, let's test all of your technical knowledge. What does OCR mean? Let's see how many of you all know what OCR means. This is grade 10 ICT. Yeah? If you don't know this, that shows how bad you are at ICT. But anyways, what does OCR stand for? Let me know through the chat. Let's see what level of knowledge you'll have. Yes, OCR stands for optical character recognition. Okay. So using OCR technology, what you can do is you can, let's say, capture an image. So if you go and capture an image, what you will be able to do is you will be able to get the text from that image. Actually, Google has OCR inbuilt in it. So if I open Google, if I just go to google.com and click on this image icon here, and let's say I select an image video. Yeah, you don't need IC knowledge, but just no need, Sami. Now I just uploaded the image here. You can go and click on this text option. And if you notice, I can just basically copy the text from this picture. See the picture, but see, I can just copy the text which I want here. So if I just click on copy here, and let's say go and paste here, will you? See, all the text that I copied from there is basically there here. So these are OCR technologies, right? So if you take, there is actually a job role called as this one, typist job. You all know what typist, right? So there's a job. If you go to majority of the communication, you can see that they'll be doing typing jobs available, typing available killer. Okay. Now, if there's OCR, then why do we need this typing job? We can just take an image and halas, the whole thing is done, no killer. Okay. So what is the advantage of you by now? Let's say you wanted to get a document type. What is the advantage of giving someone to type than using OCR technology? What do you think are the advantage of giving someone to type rather than giving it scanning using OCR? Exactly. One thing majority of people are saying, it's high accuracy. If you give a person to type, sometimes it can, what do you call, no, let's say if the handwriting is very bad. So if the handwriting is bad, the person who is typing, sometimes because he's a human, he'll be able to recognize the handwriting very well compared to OCR technology. Apart from high accuracy, okay, apart from high accuracy, think like this. Imagine I am a person who is working. I have around, let's say, lots of documents to type. Now, why the reason I am giving you, let's say, I'm the reason I'm giving this person called typing is why, because I'm a busy person. I don't have time to type the documents. That's why I'm giving it to you. What is my main problem? I don't have time. Okay, this is my main problem. Because of this only, I'm giving a person to type. Imagine we have this OCR technology, but instead of me using OCR technology, what if the type is use OCR technology? Is this going to make his work easy or is this going to make his work difficult? Exactly. If the typist is going to use OCR, what he can do, he can scan the document and instead of retyping the whole document, he can double check the document. He can check, okay, is this document, is the wording correct? Is there any spelling mistake? Is there any what you call line errors, blah, blah, blah. Killer. He can do the corrections. Instead of retyping the whole thing, he can do corrections. So tell me, if you take your OCR technology, is it something that's helpful for a client? Now, I'm the client, the person who did not have time. Is it helpful, the OCR technology, is it helpful for a client or is it helpful for the typist? For whom is it, whom is the OCR technology more helpful? For the client who had the problem, who had the need, or the typist? Exactly. It is a typist for whom it will be very advantageous. Because why? The client has lots of problems. He is a very busy person. He is not so jobless to come and type the document or even verify the document. That's why he's even giving it to you. So same thing in AI as well. AI is a powerful resource. Okay. It's not about whether AI will replace a job. There is a less chance that will happen. Okay. But you have to be able to adopt to AI. If you can use AI and make your work very easy, if you can use AI and you can make your work more efficient, then what will happen is, again, AI is not what the client is going to use to create the website. Because why? Even if you're going to use AI and create a website, there are some basic knowledge you should know which you can't expect from your client, right? Apart from knowledge, even time as well. But if you as a developer, okay, apart from the client, let's say as a developer, if you use AI and create the website, not 100% AI, okay, there are situations where you have to use AI. So with the help of AI, if you create the website, what can you happen? You can create a website quickly, efficiently, and also a proper perfect website as well. So that's what you say. AI is not going to replace you. It's just going to be a helping tool for you. Okay. So several tools which are there in the world at the moment are not basically to replace something, but basically to help you or to make your work easy. So don't just think that AI is going to replace your job. I'll just give you a best example. I started development a couple of years back. Okay. So when I started development, there was no tools like there was Google. Obviously, you can go and search in Google a problem, but there was no chat GPT where you can ask the code. Like nowadays, we have what you call several code generators. When I started coding, there was no any big code generators. So if I found an error, let's say I know when you're doing programming, one of the biggest thing you might come across is something called bugs, also known as errors. Bugs is just a fancy name for errors. Okay. So if you're going to come across errors and if you want to solve error, the main helping guide earlier was Google. We just go to Google and type. And sometimes we not get the answer in the first website we refer. We might have to go sometimes 5, 10, several websites we might have to go sometimes. Sometimes we are even lost out without any answer when we are doing our research. Okay. So we know when I was like learning and all, I used to sometimes spend hours and hours just to solve a problem or solve a mistake or find my mistake. But nowadays it's not like that. Nowadays, if you're doing any coding, if you have any errors, you can just give it to the what do you call an AI application. It will be able to solve your error. It will be able to even simplify your code. It will be able to help you make your work too easy. So don't think that AI is going to replace your work. It's just going to make your work easy. Okay, is that part clear? So your main role should be adopting to the technologies. For example, let's say it is raining and you have never used an umbrella in your life. Okay, it's so you're saying no, I have never used umbrella in my life. I'm not going to use umbrella in my life. That umbrella can't decide my future. And if you're going to just stay without crossing the road with an umbrella, it's like basically you're waiting behind. So if you want to go forward, you get a new technology, learn how to use it, adopt to it, and master it. Simple. That's how it works. That's how the world works. Anyways, coming back to my main point. So like I told a while ago, if you take a website, there are two parts. One is something called as a front end, and one is called something as backend. These are the main two parts of a website. Okay. What do you mean by front end? Are mainly the things that the users are going to look at. Now, for example, if I take a website, the users might be able to see the home screen. Or let me show you an example. If I just go to my website at the moment, okay, as a user, the person who is going to access the website, whatever I can see, that's what we call as a, whatever you can access is what we call as a front end. I can see a home page here. I can see some buttons. I can basically see some what you call classes here. If I go and click on this, it's going to take me to another page. Now you can see this was one page. And when I click that button, it took me to this page, right? Then I can go and click on here resources. These are all just basically things that you can see, the things you can use. So these are completely front end. These are the things which a user might see, user might interact with. So always keep in mind, if you take a user, the person who's going to use the website, he or she is going to interact with your front end. If you take your user, he or she is going to interact with your front end. Now there should be actually, if you take a website, apart from front end, in a front end it's just the basic stuffs that you see, but there should be a part who is going to process stuffs, who is going to handle these logical stuffs, technical stuffs, analytical stuffs, all those stuffs. For example, if I go for this website, I have two buttons here. If I go and click on add to cart here and add to cart here, this is just my front end. I had two buttons, I clicked it. But when I went and clicked on this button, you can see it had automatically added these two lessons to the cart. Now earlier you notice the cart was empty. Okay, if I again remove these two from the cart, earlier these two carts were empty. After I added these two lessons, now it's changing. Okay, now there should be a part who is changing this. Okay, apart from that, if I go and let's say I click on let's say bank transfer and upload a slip below. Now when I what all these things I can see here. Okay, let's say I just go and clicked on a slip here. What do you call added the lesson to the cart, clicked on bank transfer, and I just click on place order. I'm just going and clicking on buttons, pages, all those stuffs. But did you notice that there was a part which uploaded my receipt as well? When I went and clicked on place order, there was a part of uploading the receipt, which without you knowing it happens so fast, but there is a process there. Okay, so mostly if you take a what do you call website or any application, whatever the users can see, we call as a front end, and wherever the process happens, okay, wherever the processing parts happens, that is where the backend lies. Okay, normally your backend will be dealing with something called as your database. You all know what is database? What is the database used for? Yes, after it's possible. What is the purpose of a database? Let's see if you all have the basic idea. Exactly. A database is used for what? To store data. So for example, let's say in this website, you went to, let's say, you went to this register page, okay, sign up page, and you entered all of your details and clicked on sign up here. Now, when you go and click on sign up, there should be a part of where the program or where this website is going to take all of these data. Okay, your first name is a data, your last name is one data, your OLL batch is one data. Okay, there should be a part which is going to consume all of these data and store this data in the database, right? And whenever you want, take from the database and give it to you. So there should be a processing person. No? That is what is going to be handled by the backend of a website. Okay, so normally front end is just about what a user see. Backend is where the website is very what you call backend is what decides the website's process and all those stuffs, right? So yes, we will be learning this program is going to be a full and okay. Then there are, if you go to let's say development programs, there are something called as front end development. If you take front end web application development or front end application development, they will just teach you how to create these structures. Like for example, how to create this login page, how to create the register page, how to create this classes page, blah 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 killer. They will just show you how to just create the interfaces or whatever you see. But again, there are certain courses which will teach you backend, the hardware, how to process stuffs, all those stuff. There is very less chance you might find a course that teach you only backend. Okay, but if you take this course which you are learning with me, this will in here you will be learning both front end as well as backend. This is called something called as full stack development. So if you complete this, you will be basically a beginner level, entry level full stack web developers. These are full stack web development course. You will be learning front end, that is basic, how do you create the page, and back end. After you get the data, how do you store that data in a database structure? All these stuffs we will be learning within this course, right? Is that clear of you? Got the idea of what we are going to do? Yes or no? Okay, perfect. And then now let's move on to the practicals which has to be done. In this course, we will be, like I told a while ago, you need a laptop or a computer to do this course because Nathan, it'll be very difficult for you to actually follow up stuffs. Before that, is there anyone of you all using Mac? Just let me know through the chat. Is there anyone of you all using Macintosh operating system, like basically Apple computer, Apple laptop? Let me know through the chat, anyone? All right, because you might come across different errors which has to be handled. Okay, perfect. Right. So there are certain softwares we'll actually need. I'll tell you all how to download them as well. One thing is some wait before that. I'll just give you all a link for a WhatsApp community, so then I can share the links of all what I need there easily for all of you all. I'll just share you all a link through the chat. That's the community which I'll be sharing certain resources which are required. So use that link. Make sure you're joined that community so you can access the, let's say, recordings or links or whatever resources from there. Okay, I think majority of you are already there in that community. So the applications will be needed is one is VS Code, Visual Studio Code. Second is we will need something called as XAMPP. Obviously, you will need internet connection, but additionally, VS Code, XAMPP, and obviously browser, which I hope all of you all have. So this is nothing big for you all, but these two applications which we are going to install. So let's begin here. So if you have your laptop, you can go along with me. Just go to Google and type Visual Studio Code. Don't just type Visual Studio. Make sure you mention the word Visual Studio Code and click on this first link you get. Follow in laptop, using the laptop, you can follow up with me. Okay, I'll share the link in the what do you call chat. I'll share the link through the this one as well, through the community as well. Okay, that. So once you go to this page, I want you to click on this download button and download. I mean, I hope all of you are using Windows because when I checked earlier, there was. Is anyone of you are using Linux? No, right? Okay. So if you're using, probably majority of you all might be using Windows. So click on this Windows here. After click on download in the right side top corner, go and click on this button called Windows, and it might download a file in your computer. It's actually a 94 MB file. I already have, so I'm not going to download it. But yeah, all of you download that application. If you are done downloading the Visual Studio Code application, you don't have to install it now itself. Just download and once you're done downloading, raise your hands in the participants list. Okay. Just go to you can click on the link I gave you even. Okay. So you'll be getting this website. Go and click on this download. So when you go and click on download, you'll be getting this window. Just go and click on Windows here. If you're done downloading it, raise your hands in the participants list so that I know you're done. I mean, Zoom, you have this option to raise hands, right? Just raise your hands once you're done. It might take, I think, let's say maximum 5 to 7 minutes if your internet connection is average. I'll just give you all 7 minutes. So it's 8, 8:10, 8:15. I'll just give you all time to download it. If you have downloaded it already, you can try installing it as well. It's just like installing a normal application. So let me re-download it as well. It's showing 3 minutes left. Once you're done downloading this application, just raise your hands in the participants list. If any of you are there whose internet connection is very bad, then what you all can do is you all can just look at the things I'm doing, and I'll obviously give the recording as well. So after that, you all can refer the recording and you all can follow up the steps. Those who are done downloading it, you can install it as well. Just double click the file you downloaded, and I think it might ask you next, 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 and it might install. There's nothing big there. If you already have VS Code installed, then no issues. Make sure that you have the VS Code because Visual Studio there are two applications. One is the purple one is the blue one. I want the blue one, the Visual Studio Code, not the purple one. Farhan, there are certain things which you should know, like the basic stuffs. Those yes, but not in deep. Okay. Again, those were done. If you're done, what you could install in this, you can raise your hands in the participants list. It was 15 and became 12. Who is that? That's advice. Umar, no. Umair, no. Actually, what you all do is you all learn Python and then a big programming language. It should be vice versa. Python should never be your first programming language you learn. Because if you learn Python as your first programming language, you will not be a strong programmer. It's a good programming language, but that should not be your first programming language. Because Python programs are like baby feeding programs. It's everything is very simple. So if you're going to learn a new programming language, it's very hard for you to adopt to it. But if you have learned any other programming language, then language is very easy. Like they say, no, learn the hard stuffs first, then the easy stuffs. If you learn the easy stuffs first, then hard stuffs becomes complex. By the way, if there's anything while I'm explaining, if you'll have any doubts, questions, or anything, you'll have the freedom to drop them in the chat. If you come across any issues or whatever, just drop them in the chat, and we will be resolving them as well. Yes, Amina, it's possible. Let's see, will this download finish it in 30 seconds? Others, if you are done downloading, double click on that file and it will start installing the file. Inshallah, yeah. Yes, yes, yes. I think I last taught you in grade 7. Okay, anyways, so if you double click on this file, the VS Code file, it will actually start an installation. I'll just see if it comes for me. Okay, for me it's showing that I already have the Visual Studio Code. But again, if you all don't have Visual Studio Code installed, You can click on that setup file, and it might just it's very easy process, like installing an app from like installing a normal app only. Just click on next, 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 and install. Okay. Once you're done installing with Visual Studio Code, second application I want you all to install is something called as XAMPP. I will share you the link of this as well. Yes. So you can go to Google and search for XAMPP, and you might get this. So here, if you go and click on this exam for Windows, or you can choose your operating system. So I hope you all are using Windows. So if you're using Windows, click on this Windows, and then it might start downloading exam for you as well. Why is my download happening? If your download doesn't happen automatically, click on here. Okay. So there's an option called click here. So just click there. Okay, it's downloading. So this is the second file which you have to download. Second software which you have to download. It's something called as exam. Again, click on the link I gave you, and then click on that Windows. So once you go and click on Windows or your respective operating system, it should start downloading this file. I'm going to put all of your hands down. Once you're done installing XAMPP, I'm downloading XAMPP, raise your hands up again. I'll share the link for XAMPP as well in the chat, WhatsApp as well. So I want you to install this application. Is this application only for creating database? No, you can't run a PHP application in your laptop without XAMPP. This is the because of XAMPP only I said you can't do in the phone. Because if I'm going to connect your what do you call XAMPP will create, you all know what is a server, right? Okay, server is where we host the website. So using XAMPP, I can create a local server. That means I can make my laptop kind of a server. So that's the purpose of XAMPP. Shahid, if the XAMPP does not get automatically downloaded, are you getting this page? If you get this page, go and click on this button called click here. So if your download doesn't start automatically, then click on this something called as click here. Okay. If you're done downloading XAMPP, then again double click on that file and click on next, next, next. There will be one page asking you what are the components of XAMPP to install here. If XAMPP get downloaded, I can again show it here. Installing XAMPP, they'll ask you what are the components. Like it will show you something called as Apache sometimes. It might show you what are the options it might show you. FileZilla, Mercury, Tomcat Killer. It might show you some options like that. You can just select all, not compulsory, but better. Yes, Muhammad Riyad, you can get it through the WhatsApp community. If you're not there in it, I'll just again reshare the link for you. Click on that link and join the community. You can get it from there. Mine first the page downloaded. I thought, but no. No, Amar, you can just keep it as this. I will need only two things. One is Apache, now one is what do you call PHP admin. So you don't have to bother about that, Amar. Only MySQL and Apache. Only these two I need. Only these two I actually need. Others are just for fun. Keep it. Okay, just go to your downloads. Like in your laptop, you can see the downloading files. No, just go and check in the downloading files. Is it there? If not, go to your like computer's file manager and check is it still there. Nothing, install it. Muhammad Riyad, yes. Those who are done installing exam, like after you download, double click on it and install it. Once you're done with it, raise your hands in the participants list. Okay, Riyad. Those who are done installing the application, you can raise your hands. Resume. What is it? Okay. Did you like? Did you go and when you went in? Did you go and click on the download option? And did you get this page like awesome, blah blah blah, or this page? Okay, so when you came for this page, just go to your downloads section. So if you're using a browser, depending on in the browser, you'll have this download options, no? Download menu, right? Just go and check there is exam there or not. Then Visual Studio Code. Okay, then basically when did you get this page first of all? And did you go and click on this Windows? If you had clicked, then you would have got something like this. So in your downloads, you don't have this, right? That's what I'm saying. Then go and click on this direct download link. So you can see a download not starting. Try this direct download link. Then click on this direct download link and then check is it downloading. Others, those who are done installing exam, raise your hands in the participants list so that I know that you're done. It will be showing you a downloading panel like this. In your, what's the browser you're using? Then in your keyboard, press Control and J. If you press Control and J, you might get this. Check is it there. What is the difference you can see? Or you go and if you're using Edge browser, then go and click on this. I'll share you a link in the chat. Just go and click on that. That you can see all the, just copy that and paste in your browser. You can check all the ongoing downloads. Those who are done installing XAMPP, you can raise your hands in WhatsApp. It got cancelled. Then restart the download. Failed a network error. Okay, then click on that retry and it might restart the download. Okay, my one got downloaded. So if yours has got downloaded, again you can go and click on open file for the example as well. And it might give you a pop-up window asking like yes or no. So if you go and click on that yes option, okay, if you go and click on that yes option, I already have exam installed, so I can't do it. But anyways, you might get this setup file. Just click on next. And here you can keep it as default because PHP, MySQL is all selected. Don't do any change here. You can just keep them default. And yeah, just click on next, next, next. Once you download the exam file as well, just click on next, next, next. Like install that file, open that file, and you might first of all get a message saying, "Do you want to make changes in your computer? Yes or no, Kira?" So click on yes, and then just next, 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 and install the file. Those are done with installing XAMPP as well. You can raise your hands in the participant list. Others, those for whom it is still downloading, just drop in the chat how long is it showing your download. Your browser might show like how many more minutes remaining. Just let me know through the chat how many more is it showing. Umair, is your browser showing resuming? Or exactly where is it showing resuming? Ship, ship. Okay, so some of you it's just showing within the next 10 minutes. So I'll just give you all 10 more minutes, or let's say 8 more minutes. And once it's downloaded, just install it. Let's see by 8:40 or 8:45 how many of you all can complete the installations. Others, those who are done, you'll just wait because then we can go together. So those who is still downloading, I'll just give you time till let's say around 8:40 or 8:45. Once your file is downloaded, click on it and install it. That means you made your data package is out. That resume. That is basically it's you can ignore it. As long as it's showing it's downloading, you can keep it. In the select component, what are things you do? You can ignore it. You can just click on next. The select components, you can just keep it as default. Installing exam, that select component, just keep it as it is. Don't do any changes. Because I just now saw it's selecting whatever we need. So you can just keep it as it is. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Those who are done, raise your hands in the participant list again. Those who are done. So there are 6 of you all who are done. Rayan, Amar, Remina, Sami, and Yunus. Good, good. I'll just wait till 8:40 and then continue the next part. Okay, until it get downloaded, I'll just give you a small knowledge. I told you about something called front and back end a while ago, right? Normally, to create interfaces, there are 3 primary languages you need for the front end. Okay, so to create like whatever people can see, the 3 things you need are HTML and then CSS and then JavaScript. Okay, out of these two, out of these 3, CSS and JavaScript, they're actually optional. But HTML, without HTML, you can't create the structure of a website. So normally how this works is using HTML, you can create the structure of a website. And then using CSS, you can focus on the design of the website, like the colors and the styling. So in brackets, it's basically regarding the styling of the website. And using JavaScript, you can mainly handle the logics, or let's say actions of the website. What I mean by actions is, now, for example, if you go to the master ID website, and if you go and click on, let's say, add to cart, or let's go for a specific class cart and do it. Let's say I go and click on add to cart here. When I go and click on add to cart, without the page loading itself, you saw that, in that button the text got changed loading, and then what do you call, it updated this cart value. All these things happen, right? The actions, there were certain things that happen, right? Those all are done by something called as JavaScript. Okay, so just to see the structure of the website, you need HTML. Then to make the designing, to style the website, you need Java, CSS, and for actions, you need JavaScript. So if there is no JavaScript, then for example, let's say I go and click on, um, in all, I haven't given modules, no. In this website, I have used minimum amount of JavaScript. There is JavaScript, but if there is no JavaScript, there won't be actions. Let's say example. Okay, this is an action. You can see when I go and click on this box here, it's opening these two windows. No, it's opening a small extension. No? So when I go and click on this, it opens this. If I go and click on this, you can see it's basically opening these sections, right? So when I go and click on them, it's opening this section. So that's an action. Now do all of those tasks, you need JavaScript. So for any actions in a website, you need HTML, JavaScript, structure HTML, CSS for the styling. These are the main three components. In terms of backend, you can use a majority of the programming language. Okay, not all, but majority of the programming language you can use for the backend. Again, it depends. So if you take the world, around more than 70%, I guess, more than 70 or 80%, I'm not exactly sure about the count, but more than 70% of the websites in the world are created using PHP. The backends are completely based on PHP. So apart from PHP, even people use JavaScript to create backends, but not for beginner level. So once you learn PHP, the basics, then if you go and start learning JavaScript for backend, it will be helpful. Okay, 9 of you all have installed XAMPP. Others are all done. I'll just give you 2 more minutes. How many more minutes is it showing? 8 minutes. I think you have to change your internet correction. Others, what about you? Apart from him, others, how many more minutes is it showing? The download of XAMPP. 5 minutes. Okay, let me just wait till it get download below. 12 minutes. Wow. I just give you all around 5 to 10 minutes more. Okay, I downloading both together. If you try downloading both parallelly, it might be slow. Okay, then do something like this. In WhatsApp, I'll share you the this one. I'll WhatsApp you in the group. I'll just share the file. Actually, WhatsApp is slow. Telegram is really fast, but fine. So you can download the file from WhatsApp as well. Or you can download it after class as well. At the starting of exam installation, I got this error. I hope it's not an issue. What is the error you got? You said the image. Let me just check the image. Um, Important because an active user account. That means you already might have XAMPP already installed. Abid, just go and check in your computer. Do you already have XAMPP installed? You will not get any errors. If you get any errors, let's see. Sometimes it will be because of your this one as well. Because Zoom is running here in the background, it can be the work of your firewall as well. Let's see. Others quickly install the exam. Once you're done, raise your hands in the participant list. I'll check Sami. Uh, okay, cool. If any of you all get this kind of a box, okay, if any of you all get this kind of a box, make sure tick both. Now you can see here have ticked only the bottom one. No, make sure you tick both. Okay, make sure you have. I'll reshare, resume the sharing. Wait. If you all get something like this, okay, if you all, any of you all get something like this, make sure you tick both the box. You can see there is a box here as well. There's a box here as well. Make sure you tick both box, and once both the box are ticked, then go and click on allow access. This is something from your firewall. Okay, if you get something like this, just checkbox both and then click on allow access. Okay, Sami, you also do the same thing. Amna, let me check. Give me a moment. Uh, Click on that. I accept the agreement. If you after you install Visual Studio Code, you get this now. So go and just click on this. I accept the agreement. After you click on I accept the agreement, click on this next. And after that, steps all are like next, 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 next. Okay. Okay, perfect. Once you're done installing XAMPP, this is what you should get exactly. If you're done installing XAMPP, this is what you have to get, something like this. So if you get this, you're in a good status. I mean this, wait, sorry, this. If you're done installing XAMPP, you'll get something like this. If you get this interface, you're good to go. Can you start by 8:50? Who else is still downloading? Just let me know through the chat. Depending on the count, I'll decide. How many of yours? It's like giving a time period of, let's say, another 5 to 10 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes more. Okay, I'll start at 8:50 then. Quick. Ask, make dua that your laptop is going to work faster. Those who are done installing XAMPP, raise your hands in the participants list. Let's see who and who are done. Rayyan, Ammar, Yamina, Sami, Shahir, Farhan, Aftab, Abid, Shakir. Shakir done? Okay, nice. Only today is going to be just installing softwares. Next week, I mean, even the latter part, it's just practicals. You're going to just enjoy it. Okay, I'll be continuing in 850 with the steps. I'll just quickly make sure that you install both applications. Those who are unable to install, again, that's fine. You can basically, even after the class, you can download it. And after that, what has to happen, you can just refer the recording as well. And just 3 more minutes, then I'm going to begin. Umair, how many more minutes is it showing? Okay, I'm going to start because 4 minutes is too much. Yeah, you can just refer this once your things are okay. Okay, perfect. So I hope all of you all have now installed XAMPP as well as Visual Studio Code, both the applications. And let's jump into the next part. So what I want you to do is first of all open XAMPP, which might look something like this. Okay, maybe your compiled version might be different. For me, it's showing here as compiled on April 6, 2021. It might show like this. Click on this application. Okay, open the XAMPP application and click on this start for both. Like start the Apache server as well as start the MySQL as well. Under actions, what you call for Apache and MySQL, click on start and start. Once you're done with start and start, it might become green color. So once you're done with this step, raise your hands in the participants list. Go to exam, click on start front of Apache, start front of MySQL. Once you're done with these two steps, just raise your hands in the participants list. Pick. Those who installed exam, pick. Do this. If you're having any issues, drop them in the chat, okay? Okay, then step number 2. Once you're done with that, front of Apache, you can see there's something called admin. Okay, go and click on this admin. No, wait. Before click on admin, do this. Before click on admin, do this. Wait. Click on Explorer. You can see there's a button here called Explorer, right? Go and click on Explorer. Then it might open your file manager. Okay. In the file manager, just scroll down and you might find a file called htdocs. The file like this. Once your file manager opens, okay, once your file manager open, you might be able to see a folder called as htdocs like this. Open this folder. Who is that small child crying? Okay, open this folder. Once you open this folder, for you it might not be like this. For you, you might be able to see certain files there. Okay, you might be able to see certain files there if I'm not wrong. Just select all those files. Wait, before selecting all the files, um, can one of you all send me the screenshot of the files or can see inside htdocs folder? Inside this htdocs folder, what are the things you all can see? Just one of your WhatsApp me. After I get a message, I'll let you know. Okay, I got. So if you open your htdocs, this is what you can see. This is what you can see. Just erase everything there. Select all of those files you can see and delete all those files. All the files you can see in XAMPP. You might be able to see all of these files. Just delete all of these files. We don't need any of them. Just delete all of them. Select all of them and just delete it. Khalas. So you should be able to get a fresh folder, an empty folder, right? So once you get an empty folder, just right click on that empty folder. Okay, now mine, I have actually created certain projects, a few projects. So right click on this htdocs folder and create a new folder and call that new folder as, let's say, how shall we name our website? ADB web. Create a new, you can give any name, just make everything common. Just create a new folder called ADB web inside the htdocs folder. Okay, after you cleaned every files, after you deleted all the folders and files there, create a new file called ADB web, create a new folder called ADB web and open that folder. Once all of you are done up to here, just let me know through this, raise your hands in the participants list. Up to here, if you're done, delete all the files in htdocs, right click, new folder, ADB web, up to here. Okay, now right click on ADB web folder. Once you right click here, if you're using Windows 11, then you might have the option called show more options, right? You might have option here called open with code. You might have option called open with code. Click on that open with code. No, you can't. Don't move the htdocs folder to any other place. Huh? It should be in that place only. Nothing, your server will not work. Actually, your htdocs is a server at the moment. So once you're done with that, right click on that folder anyway, like just the middle of that folder, right click. And after right click, there might be option called open with code. So click on that open with code, all of you. So once you click on open with code, you might be able to see your folder in your, you might be getting a message saying that do you trust the author? If you get on that message, say yes. How many of you all have achieved up to here? If you have achieved up to here, raise your hands in the participants list. If you're able to do up to here, just raise your hands in participants list. Okay. So once the folder was created, form, it's not showing. What form is not showing? You cannot find the open with. Where if you're using Windows 11, okay, you might have option called show more options. Wait, did you install Visual Studio Code? Only if if you have already installed Visual Studio Code, it might show it to you. Okay, for those for whom it's not showing, if you can't see it, then you all follow this step. If you don't get the option called open with code, then open Visual Studio Code. Okay, I hope you'll have already downloaded Visual Studio Code. Then go to your start menu and go and search. Like go to your start menu and go and search for Visual Studio Code here, and open this Visual Studio Code, right? After you open Visual Studio Code, there might be this is what you might get. Okay. In here, go and click on this thing called Open Folder. Or without clicking Open Folder, there's a shortcut as well. Let's see if the shortcut will work. I have a doubt if the shortcut will work. You can do that as well. So what you can do is, if that open with code did not work, what you can do is, after you open Visual Studio Code, you just come back to the htdocs folder. You have the folder called adweb. No, just drag the adweb and paste it. I mean, drag the adweb to your Visual Studio Code. Again, only if you don't have that open with code option, do that. Okay. Only if you don't have the open code with option, then first step, open Visual Studio Code. After you open Visual Studio Code, that adweb folder is at it. Drag and drop it to your Visual Studio Code. So all of you are getting something like this in the Visual Studio Code. I are getting something like what do you call? I are getting something like this. When the left side you all can see here ADV web. If you are getting something like this, raise your hands in the participants list. So you can see here something called as ADV web. If you all have come up to here, then good. You can see this ADV web here in the Explorer. If your Explorer is not open, then click on this icon. Huh? If your Explorer is not open, you can just click on that icon. I just want you all to make sure that you can see here ADV web. Right? Okay, perfect. Now let's go for the next step. So what I want you to do there is, if you go and take your mouse closer to this ADU web, you might be able to see there's something called create new file, a plus icon. The second plus icon you can see create new folder. Okay, first plus icon is new file, second plus icon is new folder. What I want you to do is click on this icon called as new file. Click on that icon called new file and name your file as index.php. Create a new file called index.php. Okay, up to here all done. There is no ADU web showing. Okay, if there is no ADU web showing, then what you can do is, if you can't see the ADU web thing, you have that ADU web folder, right? Inside htdocs, we have that ADU web folder, right? Just drag that ADU web folder to Visual Studio Code like this. If it is not showing, only for those who is not showing, just drag this ADU web to here. Now is it showing? No. Then do something as itself. Just go and click on File, Open Folder. Click on File, Open Folder, and open the ADU web folder. Your AD web folder will be there inside this PC, OS, XAMPP, htdocs. Okay, this is the path of where your folder, where your htdoc AD web file might be there. So go and click on select folder from there. Cannot validate since a PHP installation could not be found. Use the settings PHP blah 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 blah. Just ignore that. As long as you have installed XAMPP, you're good to go. Okay, Akila, did it work? And Ryan, were you able to create the file? Okay, Akila, do something like this. I'll allow you to share screen. Okay, I'm gonna allow you to share screen. So what you're gonna do is just share the screen and give me the access. I'll show you what to do. Okay, I have given you the share screen option. Actually, just share me. Knock it up. Share your screen. This is your camera is on. Nope. Boom. Click on share and then click on screen. You're in the laptop computer. Ryan, I'll come to you. Wait. Akila, were you able to share the screen? I mean, is there any issues there? In your Zoom, there's an option called share, right? Just click on share, and then there'll be option for you to select something called entire screen. So I wanted to select the entire screen. Quick. Or I'll re-show you the whole process. Again, look at it, okay? Or you can do something else, another easy option. Just open the AD web folder. I think this might be very easy for comparatively. So Akila, just follow this instruction. Open the AD web folder. Once you're done with that, right click, and you might have option called open in terminal. Do you have this option called open in terminal? If you have open in terminal, just go and type the code and click on enter. It might open in Visual Studio Code. You're attending Zoom from the phone. Ah, okay, so that's an issue. If possible, then on your camera and use the back camera. Is that possible? So I can guide you with that. Okay, I'll allow to on the camera then. Security. Okay, I given the option on the camera. Just on your camera and go for the back cam. Yeah, Ryan, that's not an issue. As long as you can open the AD web folder, you're good to go. Were you able to open the folder? Then no issues. You can just follow. Actually, show me a screen so I can do it for you. That's actually accident. But show me the screen. Okay. At the moment, in which step are you, Akila? I'm going to continue. I'll just come to yours again in the end, okay? Because I need quick response. So, yeah, others you can follow it with me then. Akila, I'll come back to you in a while. So, I hope all of you can see the ADU web. So, if you all can see the index.php, just type the code which I'm going to type here. Okay, whatever code I'm going to type it, just type it. Click on your open angular bracket. Okay, open angular bracket, and then the question mark symbol, PHP, and then type echo space hello world. I want you all to type this inside your Visual Studio Code. Let me zoom it if you can't see. Type this code inside Visual Studio Code. Open angular bracket, the question mark, PHP, and then echo hello world. Once you're done with this, raise your hands in the participants list. Once you're done now, I put all of your hands down. If you're done with this step, raise your hands up. And then to save the file in your keyboard, just press Ctrl and S. In your keyboard, press Ctrl and S to save the file. Okay, if your file is not saved, okay, if your file is still not saved, no, I don't normally do auto save. You can auto save it as well, but don't do it. It's unwanted. Okay, so press Ctrl S. If your file is not saved, you might be able to see, for example, like this white color circle. Okay, if you can see a white color circle in top, that means your file is not saved. If your file is saved, okay, now you can see the white color circle up. No, the white color circle means you can see here. Let me just point it out. You can see a white color circle. If you can see a white color circle, that means your file is not saved. Okay, so in your keyboard, just press Ctrl and S, and that will save your file. After it's saved, you might notice that circle has been disappeared. Okay, once you're done with this, come to XAMPP, and you have the Apache, right? Next to Apache, there's something called admin. Go and click on that admin. Open your XAMPP window, XAMPP control panel, and front of Apache you have admin, right? Go and click on admin. So after you click on admin, you might get something like this. You might not get several folders, and you might get only one. In what you get, go and click on ADV web. Go and click on that ADV web. And once you click on ADV web, you might be able to see like this hello world. If you can see hello world in your browser, raise your hands in the participants list. If you can see like this hello world in your browser, raise your hand in the participants list. Okay, let me just explain a small part of this code. One of the main reasons we use programming languages like what do you call PHP is the code is completely hidden from the public. Now, if you notice here, I have written a statement called echo, right? Echo is normally used to display something. In PHP, if you want to display something, in different programming language, we use different words. Okay. In PHP programming language, if you want to display something, we use a statement called as echo. So when I say echo hello world, it's going to display this text called as hello world. Exactly. It's like print in Python. Now, you might notice this part called one thing you might notice is even when this file is open in a browser, actually at the moment that file is only open in the browser. If I just go and type here index.php, yeah, and if you're getting that, that means you did not delete. Okay, if you all are getting actually this, when I'll go and click on admin, if you all are getting something like this, that means you did not follow that step which I told you. I told you go and delete all the files inside your htdocs folder. Did you delete all the files in your htdocs folder? See, said follow all the instructions. Okay, in htdocs files, just delete all the files you have. By you have some default files, delete all of them, and then create the AD web folder. Okay, so if you do that, then you might get something like my window. Okay, if you go and click on admin, You have some important ones in it in database. Then what you do is go to your browser and manually go and type /adweb. Manually go and type it there. Okay. Next common mistake majority of you all do. I told you a while ago, if you can see like this white color dot, what does it mean? Next to your file name in the top pixel, if you can see white color dot here, what does that white color dot mean? Hmm? What does white color dot mean? Let's see how many of you are attentive. Exactly. If you can see that white color dot, that means your file is not saved. Okay. So if you don't save your file, how can you expect it to show in your browser? Click on Control button and S button in your keyboard. Okay. So once you click on Control and S in your keyboard, it will get saved. So after it gets saved, this white color dot might vanish. So first of all, save your file and then come and check in your browser. And Ryan, you just access it with the direct link, localhost/adweb. Shahir, is it working now? All of you are working, right? You all can see the hello world, right? Okay. There's a fun fact. If I go here for inspect, right? If you now if you right click on a page and click on inspect in a browser, right click and go and click inspect, you can see the codings. Okay. Now look at the coding and see. Can you see the what do you call PHP code? Look at my page, my what do you call screen and see. Can you see that word called echo part here? Or the open PHP tag? No, that the first line which you saw was open PHP tag. Okay. Can you see the open PHP tag, echo, all those stuffs? No. Okay, even if I go for page source, you can see in page source as well, I can just see hello world only. The reason is because if you take languages like PHP, okay, if you take programming language like PHP, the code is hidden from your user. That means the users cannot see your PHP code. Now, if I come and write here in my PHP, for example, if I come and write here, where's my Visual Studio code? Let's say I came and wrote something like this. I wrote here, okay. In PHP, if you want to create variables, you use the dollar symbol, okay? So let's say I'm saying $x is equal to 5. And I'm going to say $y is equal to 7. Okay. So X is one variable and Y is another variable. Now, if there's anyone of you all who does not know, who don't know what is a variable, keep in your mind, the word variable is basically a word we use to tell that, the variable, we store values, right? So I have here a variable called $x. Imagine there's a box called X and that X is going to store the value as 5. There's another variable called Y. That means imagine like another box that contains the value as 7. Okay. I'm going to write here $z is equal to $x plus $y. Okay. Always keep in mind in PHP programming language, after each instructions, okay, after each and every instructions, you have to use a semicolon icon. So you can see I've used a semicolon symbol, right? So after every instruction, you have to use a semicolon. Now, if you notice here, I have taken x equals 5, x equals y equals 7, and z is equal to x plus y. Now I'm going to display the value of z. Okay, so I'm going to say echo z. Okay, so let me explain this program. Every time we end a line, should we use semicolon? Yes. Every time you not end the line, end the instruction. So when you complete an instruction, you have to use semicolon. The reason is because when you put semicolon, it will tell that okay, this is the end of the statement, right? The advantage of this is I can put all my code in one line as well. Okay, let's say I put all of my code in one line like this. If I put all of my code in one line, now PHP knows, okay, this is one instruction, this is another instruction, this is another instruction, and this is another instruction. Again, the reason is because I have used semicolon. Got it? So first of all, look at this program. I have said x equals 5, x equals 7, z is equal to x plus y, and echo is it. So display is it. Look at this program and tell me, first of all, can you understand what's happening there, all of you? Yes or no? Look at this whole structure and tell me, can you understand what is actually happening here? Okay, perfect. Now, if I go and open my browser, you can see it is showing me the value 12. Okay, it's showing me the value 12. If I go and click on this view page source as well, it's directly showing me the values 12. Okay, but Look at our program we wrote and tell me, did we actually mention the value 12 directly? Have we mentioned a display 12 kilo directly? Have we mentioned like echo 12 kilo directly? No. There's a calculation going on. So the advantage of using PHP is your code is hidden from the user. That's the advantage. Is that part clear, all of you? Okay, now let's start in the next main task. In your browser, go and search for something called as Bootstrap. I'll just type it here. You can just follow me. Go to your browser and search for something called as Bootstrap. So this is the one they say open source and not open source. No, no, that is completely different. This is not open source meaning. Open source are like something else. I'll share you the link. Oh, wait, that link is too long. Go and click on Bootstrap and go and open this first thing you can see, that getbootstrap.com. Go for that website. I'll share the link through the chat as well. Shahir, by the way, yours is working now, right? Okay, all of you are in this website, Bootstrap. Right. Now, if you go for this Bootstrap website, there'll be a button here called Read the Docs. So I wanted to go and click on this Read the Docs. In that Bootstrap website, there was a button called Read the Docs. Go and click on that Read the Docs. Once you're done with Read the Docs, this is what you might get. Okay, this is the page you might get. Just scroll down a bit. When you scroll down a bit, you have something called step number 2 here. Step 2 include Bootstrap, CSS, and JavaScript, blah, 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 blah. Step 2. Right? Click on, now you can see there's a button called copy to clipboard. Click on the copy to clipboard here. Again, step number 2. In step number 2, you might have a code here. Just go and click on this copy to clipboard. Once you're done with it, come back to your PHP file, index.php. Erase all the codes. Just keep it empty, okay? Come back to index.php and keep this file completely empty. And now paste that code you copied. So to paste the code, you can click on Control plus V. Right? Just copy that code and come and paste it here. Will it work? What do you mean by will it work? Yes, that's the power. That's the use in PHP file. You can write HTML codes, you can write JavaScript codes, you can write CSS code, but there are ways to write it. That's the advantage of using PHP. Okay. All of you are done pasting it. After you're done pasting it, save the file. Okay. So once you have copied and pasted all of codes and pasted it, okay. Once your page looks something like this, raise your hands in the participants list. All of you. Okay. Now, if you go and check your, I should start Apache SQL. Yes, Sumedh, yes. Okay. Now you come and check your browser. Okay, that the same old file, the localhost/ariweb. You come and reload this file. You might be able to see hello world like this. Can you see that? You might be able to see hello world a bit bigger and differently like this. Right? Apart from that, okay, apart from that, Humerius, right? Apart from that, wait, my lap is stuck at the moment. Give me a moment. Okay. Apart from that, in the top itself, in your browser top itself, in a tab, can you see something called Bootstrap demo? in your browser, in the top itself here, you can also see something called Bootstrap demo as well. We call these normally as the title of the website. Okay, we normally call this as a title of the website. So if you come back to your programs, okay, if you like, for example, come back to the coding part, you can see here there is a tag, the open title tag and close title tag. These are basic HTMLs. Okay, so in between the open title tag and close title tag, you can see we have mentioned Bootstrap demo, right? So if you go and modify this to anything you want, it'll get updated there as well. So I want you to do something like this. Just remove this Bootstrap, like go and click on this Bootstrap demo and rename that to your name. Just go and give your name there. Oh wait. No, you put the name as something as title of my web page. Just go and type the title of my web page. So there was something called Bootstrap demo, right? Umair, now create a folder called ADV web there. Others, type your title of web page, and now come and refresh your browser. Okay, come and refresh your browser and see has the title of the web page got updated. And let me know through the chat, yes or no. After you change the title, did it get updated here? Yes or no? Okay, obviously to save the file. After you save the file, come and click on reload here and check has it uploaded there. Umar, I'll come to you by right. Okay, let's add this. Now you can see here, there's a small box here, right? This box is actually called the icon of the web page. Okay, let's actually put in like make a new icon for the web page, right? Let's put a new icon for the web page. So what I'm going to do for the icon is, let me close this one, clear all the drawings and close this. To create an icon in your web page, you write this code. Okay, before your title tag, okay, before your title tag, copy down this code, open angular brackets, and then write link rel equals icon, href equals, copy this one, link rel equals icon, href equals, and open close single bracket, single quotation marks, so double quotation mark. Copy down this code. Before the title tag, copy down this code. Here the coding language is it HTML or PHP. At the moment, we are doing it the PHP. Whenever you're going to use a PHP code, okay, if you want to use PHP code, you have to always open the PHP code and close the PHP code. I will show you. That's the next thing I'll show you. Wait. Okay. So now what I want you to do is just go to the Google, go to your browser, and just get an icon. When I come to all of this, I'll do it separately for you because I think the flow will get separate. So flow will get broken. Just go to Google and search for icon. So I'm going to just type in Google icon. Let's see if I get a nice icon. Images, and let's take a nice image. Okay, I'm going to take this icon, this image. You can take any image you want. Let's say I'm going to take this fellow. Okay, so you can just go and click on image. So once you have an image like this, right click on the image, and there will be option called copy image address or copy image link. Right? Don't click on copy image, don't click on copy link. Okay, don't click on these two options. I want to click on this copy image link. There might be option called copy image link, or your browser might give you option called copy image address. Right click on the image and you might get the option called copy image link. Click on that copy image link and paste it inside this href. Click on that copy image link Okay, after that, paste it inside HTTP and save your file. After that, come and reload your website. After that, come and reload your website and check, has the icon got updated? And let me know through the chat. Yes or no. Has your icon got updated? Yes or no. Okay, perfect. So now basically what you did here is it's a completely HTML. So what you did here is basically, where's my file? What you have here is completely HTML. There is no anything of PHP. Okay. Now we have here hello world text, right? What I'm going to do is without displaying that using HTML, let's see how we can display that using PHP. So I'm going to backspace this. Normally, if you want to use PHP inside your program, first of all, you open the PHP tag. For that, we put this open question mark PHP, and you put this closed PHP tag as well. That's a question mark, and again the close tag, right? And in between this only, we write our PHP code. So, for example, you can see here, I removed the hello world, and in between, I'm going to write a echo, let's say Yusuf, or let's say hello echo master IT. Okay. So, what I did here was inside that H1 tag, earlier there was hello world. I just cleared that hello world text and I opened the PHP tag. We call this open PHP tag. And I wrote echo master IT and then I put the close PHP tag. Okay. All of you will probably do this step. In between this hello world to H, between the open and close H1 tag. Okay. In this space, by default, there was a text called hello world. No, just clear that tag and write here the and then the close PHP tag, question mark, and the closing angular brackets. Give me a minute, guys. Sorry for that. So add here the close PHP tag. Add this PHP code. Echo master ID. Give me it. Yeah. So make sure that you have this inverted commas correctly and even this semicolon correctly as well. Okay. So once you're done with that process, that is the PHP's syntax. That's how PHP program language is. Okay. So if you want to write PHP codes, you always open the PHP tag like this, close the PHP tag. In between that will be right. Okay. Now save your file and go and check in a browser. Is it displaying the text master ID? Check in your browser. Is it displaying correctly? Yes or no? Let me know through the chat. Shoot, I forgot to save that PDF. Fine. Okay. So let me just tell you all what we're going to do. Now, currently what we did is we just created a basic plain page, right? So initially what we will be doing is we'll be creating all the interfaces. First of all, we'll be doing all the front end. So in terms of front end, what we are going to do is I'll just tell you what our plan is, right? Okay. So first of all, we might create, let's say, a navigation bar. In the upcoming lessons, what we're going to do is the first day you might create some navigation bar. What do you mean by navigation bar is, let's say you take this website here. Okay, it says example, if I take a navigation bar here. The top pixel you can see here, right? The master, blah 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 blah. Okay, home, classes, all these stuffs. Or if I even go for, let's say, master maths website, in the top you can see, right, this what do you call, home, house, master maths, then timetable, what do you call, downloads, contact. In the top you can see, right, all these stuffs. In majority of the website you can go, you might be able to see all these stuffs. Okay, you can jump from one page to another page. Okay, we call this section as navigation bar. So we'll be creating a navigation bar, right? After we create navigation bar, we'll be learning to create, we'll be creating two new pages. One page is going to be the whole so we are going to create few pages. The login page, we'll be creating the register page, actually register page first. We're going to create a login system. Okay, so we're going to create a page called register page. We'll be creating a login page. We'll be creating a home page. We'll be creating a my post page. Okay, so what we're going to do is we'll be creating a navigation bar in such that we can navigate from, let's say, login to register, or register to login, all those stuffs. Okay, so let's say you're on the login page now, you can jump to the register page, or you're on the register page now, you can jump to login page, something like that. Okay, and then after you're logged in, okay, after you're logged in, from home page and my post page, it's going to show you. Then you can jump from home page to my post, blah blah blah. That's what we're going to do for the next few weeks. Okay, and also I'll teach you how to create codes, how to create programs without repetition as well. So what I mean by repetition here is, now normally what happens is when you don't know the basics of programming, you might, I'll tell you one thing. Okay, normally if you take HTML, this is actually O-level knowledge. I think if you have not done O-level HTML, then you will not have the idea. In O-levels, you might notice any website you take. Okay, any website you take, this part is there, right? Open HTML, or this is having too many codes. I'll just show you a simple version. Okay, any website you take, you might have this open HTML tag and close HTML tag. So in between open and close HTML tag, only your whole website will be there. Normally, a website will always be open with the HTML tag and close with HTML tag. Then there are two sections of website. If you take a web, so in a web page, take a web page, there are two sections. One is called the head section. Okay, one is called the head section, and then one is called the body section, right? So this is basically, you learn this in O levels, that you have this head section, body sections here, right? Normally, inside head sections, we write the codes not for the users to see. That's why you notice here also, inside this head section of the website only, we mention the title of the website as well as the icon of the website. You might have noticed earlier, the title and the icon we mentioned in the head section, because these are not things that you're going to see inside the web page. These are some things you can see, let's say, in your, you notice where we saw it, right? We saw in the top of your browser. Okay, notice the title and icon is on top of the browser. So this is not mainly for the content, not inside the web page, not in this area to show, right? Then in this, if I keep the code like this, okay, so this is how the head section will look like. The body section is where we normally write all the things the user is going to see. Now, for example, if I show you all this page, it might look something like this. See, it's an empty page, right? Let me change the title value. So I'll be like title of my second page here, right? See, I have in the head section, I have mentioned the title and icon. Huh? If I come and show it in your browser, you can see title of my second web page and icon is being showed, perfect, but content is empty. So if I want to display any content in the website, that is normally written inside the body section. So in the body section, I will come and write, let's say, h1 tag, okay, hello world. So this is again HTML. Huh? In HTML, we use h1 tag to show it's a heading. To tell it's a heading, we use the h1 tag. Again, you don't have to know HTML much as well. We are not going to learn about HTML, CSS here. Only the first few days. I mean, the first day I'm just giving a slight idea, but from day 2 onwards, we're going to directly start using Bootstrap. So I'll tell you the advantage of Bootstrap in a while, right? So you can see here, I had written hello world. So keep in mind any web page, the people who have not done O levels, it's there in O level. If you are done, in the grade 11, lesson number 5, it's there. Okay, if you're not done O levels, then you keep in mind. Now, if you take a web page, there is some what do you call the structure of a basic web page is something like this. So you have open close HTML tag, then head section and body section. Is the head section we mentioned like title, like, and all those stuffs. It's the body section we mentioned, but has to be shown inside the website, right? Now, if you take the reason we are going to use Bootstrap is we are not going to deal with these codes one by one. If you use Bootstrap, the advantage we have in Bootstrap is you have the components already created. So if I go to Bootstrap, I'll show you here. In Bootstrap, if I here scroll down, there will be an option called components, and there are several components that are already created, right? So for example, let me just go and click on alert. It will show me here the different types of alert and the code as well. So if I just copy this code from here and let's say paste it in my web page, okay, this web page does not have Bootstrap connected. See, that's why it's not showing. Let me go for my index page. In index page, I'm going to just use it below my h1 tag. I'm just pasting that div which I copied, the code which I copied. If I come and refresh my index page, see a simple primary alert. Check it out, killer. I was able to create this again. I just took the code from here. Okay. So if I want, let's say this red color one, a simple danger alert, I'm going to take the danger one. So simple danger alert. Just copy the code from here and let's say I paste it here. A simple danger alert. So we will be learning how to make your now you can see by using this Bootstrap library. I didn't know by the reason. So Bootstrap is actually a library, right? Because I use Bootstrap, there was no need for me to write the CSS code. Normally, if I did not use Bootstrap, I had to write a separate what you call coding. So there's a coding language called a CSS. Using that language, I had to tell, okay, this should be blue color, there should be a light blue color, dark blue border, this is light red color inside, the text color, these are all the things I have to actually define. But because I'm using Bootstrap, I don't have to do that. Okay, that's the advantage. So using Bootstrap, we will be learning how to create the login page. Okay, we'll be learning a navigation bar, register page, home page, my post, and in the home page, we'll be what do you call? We are not going to just create the front end only. Parallelly, we'll be creating the backend as well. Okay, which means let's say the login page might be something. Let's say imagine like this. So imagine a login page that's going to ask you the email and password. Example, it's going to ask you, let's say, the email and password, and let's say a button called as login. So once a person clicks on login, how to log into the system? Okay, once a person clicks on login, how to make them log into the system? Killer, we'll be making a complete website. Yes, we will be making a responsive website, right? So today's portion is up to there only, just giving you all the basic stuffs about what do you call getting started with the website. Next week, actually, we are going to create several folders, several pages, and reorganize our website properly. Okay. So from next week onwards, you all know it's completely paid session. You all can actually purchase it from the Mastery website. Okay, you all just go to mastery.lk website. And if you don't have an account in Mastery website, if it's the first time you're accessing this website, what do you call? Go and click on the sign up button and create your account. Fill in all of your details and create our account. We will be publish our website public. Yes, at the end of the session, you're going to publish your website for completely free. Okay, that means you're going to publish your website to the internet. You'll be getting a domain name like this. You'll be getting a URL for your website at the end of the day. Okay, so once we are completing the session, that's how it would be. So if you don't have an account, click on that sign up and create an account. If you already have an account, then you can directly go and click on the sign in and log into your account. So once you have logged into your account, you might be able to see there's a class. If you scroll down the home page or classes page, you might be able to see there's a class called web development. Just add to cart this. Okay, click on add to cart here. So once you go and click on add to cart here, okay, then go and click on this view cart. And then you can actually select the payment method, bank transfer, the card payment, the killer, and you can actually make your payments through this website itself. Okay, and now currently it's showing the upcoming lesson time in July 24th, 7:30. Every week the time will get updated here. Okay, so on the respective day, if you come and check here, it will get updated. So today it's showing you the 24th July class, and on after that week, if you come, it will show the next week's class. Okay, that's how it's going to work. You made master okay website. Yes, this website was completely made by me, and here I use Bootstrap as well. So will be not make will make this, and also you notice here, and when after I log into the website, Umair possible just WhatsApp me. Okay. So you can see here there's one, two, three, four, five, six. Okay. There are six navigation, there's six what do you call pages. No. If I log out of the website, you can see that became three. Okay, that became only three. So only if I log into the website, and also if I'm logged out from the website, I can see two buttons here, sign up and sign in. So only when I log into the website, I can see what do you call all the navigation tabs, right? So how to do all of these stuffs, we'll be learning using PHP. Okay, how to make sure that only if it's logged in, they can see everything. If it's logged out, they can see the two or three, blah, blah, blah. Killer. All these stuffs, we'll be learning how to do with PHP, all the stuffs in the coming up few classes. Okay. So yeah, with that, we're done for the day. Those who have any questions, all those stuff, so I can stay and ask. And those who messed up in the middle, I'm going to show it again so I can follow the instructions. Okay. So maybe okay, you can follow it from here. Others, if you understood everything, today's portion is done. Okay. So if there's any other clarifications, you can WhatsApp it to me. I'm not going to re-show you the whole process for those who missed up at the beginning. Okay. So Umair, you install both Visual Studio Code as well as what do you call XAMPP, right? Okay, perfect. Then you come for the in your exam. Just go and click on this. I'll be posting the recording in the WhatsApp group, that community. Okay. If you're done, can we leave? Yes. If you're done, you can leave. I'm here showing it for the people who mixed it up in the middle, right? So, Umair, just go and click on the explore icon here, and you already done here, right? So once you're done, if you have already deleted all the files there, then create a new folder called AD Web. I done with that step. Did you create a new folder called AD Web inside htdocs? In htdocs, you cleared all the four files, right? So after you clear all the files, now you create a new folder called AD Web. Okay. Now open the AD Web folder. Done. Okay. Right click on that folder, and now if you're using Windows 11, you'll be having the option called Show More Options. But Windows 10 means directly it might give you this. Can you see option called Open with Code? No. Okay. Then can you see option called Open in Terminal? Can you see option called Open in CMD, something like that? Send me a screenshot of what you can see, or like a picture, whatever. What are the things you can see there? You're logging in using a phone. Okay. Have I given the access to on the video? I think yes, no. Okay, wait, let me on. Okay, I gave the access, no sure. View, sort by group, open, give access to new properties. Is this Windows 10 or 7? So you have the option as I can't see properly. Open Git bash, quick access to new properties, sort by group. Click on that, give access to. What are the options you're getting? I can't see it properly. Go a bit closer. That's not clear. Anyways, fine. Okay, do this then, do this then, do this then. Open Visual Studio Code. Now in Visual Studio Code, can you see option called as open folder? Click on the open folder. And now navigate to your AD web folder. That is, it's there inside your local disk C. So if you click on that option, it looks something like this. So file, new window. It might look something like this. First time you open it, click on open folder, and then click on, let's say, this PC, OS, XAMPP, and then OS XAMPP, HDocs, AD web. Click on these steps and open your and click on select folder. This PC, OS, XAMPP, HDocs, AD web. Yeah, click on double click on the exam folder. After double click on exam folder, can you see the AD web folder? Okay, click on that AD web folder and then come and press this select folder button. Okay, now did that folder get opened in Visual Studio Code? Like, okay, then in the Visual Studio Code, you can see something like that AD web killer. Okay, next that click on this button and click enter what you call create a file called as index.php. Click on that button and create a file called as index.php. Okay, now create a file called index.php. Click on this first button, the new file button, and create a file called index.php. Okay. Then now what I want you to do is go to your browser and go for this Bootstrap website. Go to your browser and go to this Bootstrap website. So go to Google, type Bootstrap, and click on the first link you get. Done. This is the link you're going for, right? I'll again drop in the chat. Double check, is that the link you clicked? Click on the link I sent to the chat. Done. So the link I sent us, is it coming that connection is not private? Okay. Are you in this website called Bootstrap? What do you mean by doing? Just open the website. Is it taking so long to open the website? Okay, then click on this read the docs. After you click on read the docs, scroll to your step number 2. Click on that read the docs and go to step number 2. Click on this icon here to copy the code. In the top right, you can see icon, right? Click on that and copy the code. Okay. Now open your index.php. Okay. Go to your browser, open your index.php and paste all of that code. Just press Ctrl and V and paste all of the code. Copy it. Okay. Now save your file. Ctrl plus S. Okay. Now open your browser, the exam. In exam, front of Apache, go and click on admin. In front of Apache, go and click on admin. And then you might be getting only AD web. So go and click on this AD web. Go and click on AD web. Can you see that hello world text? Okay, perfect. That means your code is working properly. So now what I want you to do is, so you can see here the title tag, right? So within the title tag, in by default, it might be showing you some Bootstrap demo or something, right? So what I want you to do is I want to change it to something like this. Change the title to as the title of my web page. Okay, change that title to title of my web page. And then after you change it, save your document. So Control plus S and reload your browser and check in your browser has it got updated in the top. Has it got updated? Is it updated? Okay, perfect. Then what we're going to do is you can by default you can notice your icon might be empty. There will be like a box. So go to Google and just search a random image you want to use as your icon. You can take any example you want. So I'm going to go for this image. So go to image and I'm going to use this image. Just select any image you want from the Google. That means in your coding you have some b slash something. See between open, this is open title tag. This is closed title tag. Between that, make sure you keep your title proper. So you might be having something like b slash. That's where it's coming. So whatever you type here will be shown there. And then for the icon, what do you call right? Go to Google, just search image, click on the image. Then you might get something like this from the small part of it. Right click on this, and then you might get option called copy image link, or you might be getting option called copy image address. Click on that copy image link or else copy image address. That right click, copy image link. I done with that. Okay, perfect. Then what you do is you create a new tag called the link tag. So before title tag, you can just come and click on your before title tag, click on keep your cursor and then type the enter. And before the title tag, open a tag called the link tag and type here rel equals icon like this and href equals empty and just type something else. Before the title tag, first we'll type like this. link rel equals icon href. Done. I run with it. Okay. Now between is href, come and paste that link you copied inside the href in between these two inverted commas. Just paste that link you copied and save it. After stop and close it. Or in XAMPP, you might have option called a exit killer. Yeah. Not here. I mean, in the right, if you go, sorry, quit, just go and click on quit. Okay. After. Okay, fine. So once you're done with that, now you come and check, save your file. Okay. After you save your file, reload your browser and see has the icon got updated. Perfect. So now what we are going to do is now you have a text called hello world. No, replace that hello world. What is that size set for after, not for you? What do you call in between the h1 tag? Just write this PHP code. So this PHP code is used to display the message called master IT. Okay, so echo is a keyword we use to display something in PHP. So write this whole PHP instruct code in between the h1 tag, in between the open h1 tag and close h1 tag. Copy down that PHP code. Done. Okay, save the file and check your browser. Is it showing you something like this? Save the file and check your browser. Is it showing something like this? Okay, so that's up to where we did today. So if you have got it up to there, then all good. Okay, understand everything we did? Any questions? Okay, so I'm going to end the meeting from here. Again, if there's any questions or whatever, you can get back to me through WhatsApp and get things clarified. Have a nice day. Bye bye.